Some shops vanish, others survive wars, scandals and revolutions, and somehow they're still open today. In Britain, a handful of stores have been trading for centuries. They've seen kings come and go, entire empires collapse, and yet their doors never closed. But how? What kept them alive while thousands of others disappeared? Stick around because some of these stories will shock you. Twinings. On London Strand sits a shop so narrow you could walk right past it. But inside, the story of how Britain's tea obsession began. Back in 1706, Thomas Twining made a wild bet. Tea was rare, expensive, only the rich touched it. Everyone else drank coffee or ale. But Twining thought tea could be bigger. He was right. Soon his little shop turned tea into a national habit. Through wars, rationing and royal drama, the Strand shop never once closed. Step inside today and you're standing in over 300 years of history. Now imagine this. While tea was changing Britain, another shop just a few streets away was creating a fashion icon that would circle the globe. Lock & Co. Hatters. This is the world's oldest hat shop, open since 1676, and it's the birthplace of one of history's most iconic designs. In 1849, Lock & Cobers created the bowler hat. At first, it was made for gamekeepers. Tough, practical, but it became the look of London's elite. Churchill wore it. Oscar Wilde wore it. Even Lord Nelson stepped inside these doors. And here's the crazy part. You can still walk in today and buy a hat made the exact same way. But while hats crowned Britain's leaders, Londoners soon craved another kind of status symbol. Books. Hatchard's Picture This. It's 1797. John Hatchard opens a bookshop in Piccadilly. 2 centuries later, the shelves are still there, stacked with stories. Hatchard served royals, writers, and anyone hungry for ideas. The charm hasn't changed. The wooden shelves, the quiet intimacy. And despite Amazon and megastores swallowing bookshops everywhere, Hatchard survived. Why? Because people come here not just for books, but for the experience. But while Hatchard's fed minds, the next shop kept Victorians armed against something far more everyday, the rain. James Smith & Sons. Since 1830, James Smith & Sons has sold umbrellas built to last. And not just umbrellas, walking sticks too. In Victorian London, they weren't just fashion accessories. Some doubled as weapons. Step inside today, and it's like nothing has changed. The Victorian displays, the polished wood, the sense of craft. But here's the twist. While umbrellas kept ordinary Londoners dry, another shop was quietly dressing kings and judges in robes of power. Ede and Ravenscroft, founded in 1689. Ede and Ravenscroft is Britain's oldest tailor. For over 300 years, they've made robes, wigs and gowns for those at the very top. Think about it. Every coronation, every royal wedding, every Oxford graduation, Ede and Ravenscroft was there. Their garments are stitched into the story of Britain itself. But while this tailor dressed the powerful, another shop, far from London, was the lifeline of an entire island. William Shearer. Now let's travel north to the Orkney Islands. In 1857, William Shearer opened a little general store. But it wasn't just a shop. It was survival. Fishing tackle, groceries, hardware, animal feed. You needed it? They had it. For isolated islanders, Shearer was a lifeline. Generations later, the shop is still standing, still serving, still part of family memory. But while Shearer kept islanders alive, Londoners were indulging in something far more luxurious. James J. Fox. Since 1787, James J. Fox has been London's most famous cigar shop. Picture polished displays, rare blends, and an air thick with history. It's survived wars, rationing, even the decline of smoking culture. Yet people still fly in from around the world just to buy from here. But if cigars gave Londoners comfort, another shop bottled pure elegance and sold it to kings and queens. D.R. Harris & Co. Back in 1790, London was smoky, crowded, chaotic. And in the middle of it all, D.R. Harris opened an apothecary. They made remedies, tonics, soaps and colognes. Some of the formulas they use today haven't changed since the 1800s. Through endless grooming fads, the shop stayed the same. Loyal, consistent, still here. But even D.R. Harris can't claim the crown of Britain's oldest perfume house. That title belongs to Floris. In 1730, Juan Floris opened a perfumery in London. Almost 300 years later, it's still run by his descendants. Floris has always been about prestige. Royals wore it. Celebrities wore it. Every bottle carried a quiet symbol of status. Step inside today and you're in another century. Wood-paneled walls, glass cabinets, classic fragrances still sold alongside new ones. But while Floris bottled elegance, one last shop built its empire deep underground. Berry Brothers and Rudd, 1698, the wine cellars of kings. Founded in 1698, Berry Brothers and Rudd began as a grocer. But it didn't take long before it became one of the most powerful names in wine. Their underground cellars stretch beneath London, holding bottles that chart centuries of taste. Royals, prime ministers, even world leaders trusted them. And here's the thing, they still do. The shop operates globally now, but step inside and it feels like stepping into a secret society of history and tradition. So there you have it. From tea to tobacco, robes to perfume, these aren't just shops, they're survivors. They've outlived bombs, fires, changing tastes, even the rise of online giants. And they remind us that history isn't locked away in museums, it's still open for business. So next time you're in London, look closer at those quiet storefronts, because behind them, you might just find centuries of history still alive today. And here's the question: 300 years from now, which shops from our time will still be standing?